can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
You called and blank, staggered, black, scouted, and blinking blank punk are you trying to do? Of all that low, dirty...
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Oh, yeah!
That's driven deep to left center field. Gardner is going back, looking up. See you later! See you later! Astros headed back to the World Series. Jose Altuve, a walk-off two-run homer. And the Astros beat the Yankees 6-4, win the ALCS 4-2.
Holy un smoke!
Do you believe it?
I believe it because I watched it. That's the great Robert Ford, longtime radio voice of the Houston Astros, bringing us in this morning. And good morning to y'all. Welcome to the Tuesday edition of Snowman in the Morning. This is the only way I can alleviate the echo from my partner as well as the guests that come in until I find another workaround while I'm in the process of getting another computer. And that's probably not going to happen until after surgery. And I hope to have a date on that today. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this edition, the latest and the greatest edition of Snowman in the Morning. Glad to have you with us. I made a promise, and I'm going to keep it. It's just going to take me a while. Actually, no, it isn't, because I'm going to you won't be able to see the picks I'm going to make because I don't want anything to throw my current set off stride. Working in a very small space here, but I did make a promise, and I intend to keep it. At the bottom of this hour, you will hear my picks for the men's tournament, and at the bottom of hour 2, before I welcome my guest, you will hear my picks for the women's tournament. Plan to get all that done today, and I shouldn't be gleeful because I wrote everything. I kind of wrote that I wouldn't cuss today, and I'm going to try my best not to. So I shouldn't be gleeful. Why are you laughing at me? Because I lied?
All I had to do is mention one name.
See, you're not right.
And then...
Please don't. Because I already had it mentioned to me this morning.
And that creator will fly completely out the window. Yes.
Oh, I know. I know it well. Because I already had to deal with a few this morning. I'll talk about that in a minute. I was doing fine. I didn't have to write in my punishment book. I wrote out everything I needed to today. And my page is still wound up blank because I tore the page up that I wrote the show out on. Because I had to make the adjustments from hour 3 down to hour 2. We will go 3 hours on Friday because I got guests scheduled all the way to 10:35, including Mike DeBate. But I had to deal with a certain group this morning, and it angered me, for lack of a better term, and instead of the term I want to say, they angered me. Why do people still celebrate someone who is not going to have an impact on the remainder of the season and hasn't had an impact this entire season? You know who I speak of. You know the group who I speak of because we try to feature them on only Wednesdays. But then there are some days, and you know it well, where that just can't happen. This is one of them.
I know it.
And the bad part is he elbowed Pascal Siakam while they were in the process of getting a foot put in him.
Not in the process of getting his foot put in him.
In the process of getting a foot put in him. And then on top of that, he had the absolute gall to yell at a teammate or teammates because they didn't get an offensive rebound. Where were you, sir, when that offensive rebound was there to be had? Am I wrong on that question?
No.
So why do people? I will be nice. Why do these people decide to pick at me when I change that question? Why do people decide to bark at us when we point out facts? Why is that? I know I've asked this question before, but it continues to need it needs to continue to be asked when we're dealing with certain people or during football season teams.
I've said it before. I'll keep saying it because we will keep seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
Because unfortunately, sports fan will get younger. Nuance, nuance is an area, a topic that the average sports fan does not want to enter. They're happy and blissful with the little knowledge that they have,
And it's very, very little. It's very little.
And they may be knowledgeable of the very little that they know, but it's you have to be complimentary toward this person.
No, I don't.
Or if you aren't, you're being a hater. Or you have to be when it's someone of our hue, we have to be all in. Or if we say one shred of constructive criticism, not he sucks, not he's horrible, not he's a bad egg or a bad human being, but basically saying, okay, you dodged this bullet and I'm glad that's happened, but you could tighten this up over here. You could say that.
And we have.
And we are called Uncle Toms. So you have those aspects of fandom that the older I get, the more I'm accustomed to it. And when someone said to me that they lost all respect for me because of said comment of a black athlete that I did,
same.
I actually said to him, you know what, you really didn't have respect for me in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Your public declaration of it actually warms my heart. Thank you so very much, because it does.
I had to learn. I had to learn to do that. I really did. I had to learn to do that, especially when it came to this guy.
I mean,
it's just
look. I would love to have everybody love me and everybody love what I do and everybody love what I say.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like what your father told you, your mother told you, what my mother and my father told me. Not everybody's going to like you. And I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea. What am I going to do? That's the truth. Yeah. What am I going to do? Cry about it? I mean,
I got to be real early on. I did, but then it wasn't just my dad's voice that was in my head. It was my wife's voice.
Yeah, I was about to say, and then because for me that's what it was. And I kvetched and bickered about it, but then the voice came from my wife. And so, you'll be 50 this year, I'll be 50 next year, and it's now to the point where it's like, you know something, all of them are right.
They are right.
If their opinion of me is going to be swayed by something I say and it's backed by truth, and I'm not being injurious or defamatory toward the subject matter, well, that's on them. That's a them issue. That's not a me issue.
That's a you issue.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not a me issue.
And so when we
it never will be.
Right. And so when we deal with certain sects of fandom, like earlier today, I had someone say, "You sound like you've been rather negative as of late." I said, "No." I was like, "No, I've been truthful," and it was in response to when I said after Tom Brady unretired, I said, it's great. It's great to know that he's an attention-seeking whore, just like Aaron Rodgers."
Bingo. And that's why I was mad yesterday, because he ruined Selection Sunday, as I said. And I have people coming after me. Oh, what are you mad about? The GOAT's coming back. First of all, Montana has been long retired, and he's not taken another hit
For almost 3
since
decades.
then. For almost 3 decades. Second, you can't appoint Tom Brady the greatest, just like you can't appoint you know who the greatest on stats alone. They didn't like that.
No, because
I didn't care. I didn't care. I just kept coming.
It's like what you said, and it is true. But I extrapolate that even further. I think all sports fandom is this way now, and unfortunately, Brady is proof of this, and Bradyites are proof of it.
Thank you for using that word.
Sports fan are enamored with just 2 things: stars and
stats.
You are absolutely correct when you said that, because it has become the hallmark and the trademark of the regular sports fan.
Which, once again, for lack of a better term, and me trying to get through 120 minutes without a bad word, angers me. I'm not going to make it the full 120 minutes, folks. Y'all know this. There will be a point. There will be a point this morning when Cole and I discuss a few subjects that I have on my brain, including Stephen Curry's 34th birthday and the slander that's being heaped on him.
Happy birthday, Chef.
Happy birthday, champ. How do you like that? Champ. And it's just, there are days I wake up and I believe I'm hyped to go, but then my wife's alarm goes off, and she just simply turns and looks at me and goes, I don't want to do this ish. You seem to have had the same discussion with your better half.
Oh, Lord. It's even worse considering that my job, I have to be up for just 6 a.m. Eastern. So
yes.
So I'm up early, and 8 a.m. for me is almost like midday.
Yes. Yes.
And my wife is not a morning person, so I go back into the room. I go back into bed into the bedroom around, I don't know, 10, 10:30, 11.
Yep.
I give her a kiss, and I get the from her.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So yes, I have received.
Because it's like, I don't like my wife leaving in the morning to go to work. I understand everything behind it. I do. I understand everything behind it. Good morning, Eric Wallace. Good to have you with us. I understand everything behind it, but it's just that one time where she would turn to me as I'm up getting things going, and of course I can't fall back to sleep for the life of me because I fell asleep at 8:30 at night.
Right.
Which is a habit. I gotta stretch it to 9:30 somehow so I can actually wake up on time instead of 90 minutes early.
Yeah.
But it's like I get up this morning and I'm ready to roll, and then all of a sudden my dog snuggles up to me. I love you, Lucy. My dog snuggles up to me.
That's so
and
sweet.
My wife turns over and snuggles up to me, and I'm going, how can I leave? Because as soon as I feel both of them, it's like, I don't want to get up.
Yeah.
So what the heck am I doing up this early?
Yeah, you've experienced your own personal nirvana right then and there. Yeah.
Yep. It's like, what in the world am I doing up this early? And why? As soon as Lucy, my little pup, climbs onto my chest, when I'm up and ready to roll, I'm a dead duck. Because my wife will reach over and she'll feel Lucy, and then she'll snuggle into me. Next thing I know, 40 minutes have passed and I've been back to sleep again. So that's exactly my nirvana each and every morning. And all that I would have to hear is my wife say, I don't want to get up. And I'm turning over.
I'm a Toys R Us kid. Yeah,
exactly. And I'm turning over and I'm going, baby, don't say that aloud because now I'm going to say it. She says, that's the idea. I'm like, doggone it. She's right. She's right.
Sometimes adulting is wonderful. It's an absolute great state to be in. And then other times,
it is. Adulting sucks.
Waking up when you don't want to is one of them.
Yes. There are times when adulting is wonderful. Okay? This should be one of those times for me because I get a little piece of heaven being on with you every day. But in getting the day started, adulting blows. It does. And y'all know where I'm coming from. When you don't want to get up in the morning, you go, why am I doing this?
And double, especially if you're awake and you're still in a good spot in your bed and you don't want to move.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. And what's bad is when you get in that good spot and you're just about to fall back to sleep. Gentlemen, you've gone through you know where I'm going. Gentlemen, you know where I'm going. You're still in that good spot. You're about to fall back to sleep. How did Bill Cosby describe it? Just when you get into that second phase, when you don't hear a thing and you feel your better half snuggle up to you, your alarm goes off.
Yep.
And you're just looking and going, pardon me for this. Oh, hell no. Now. Why now?
That happens.
You know why. You know why. Okay. Everybody knows why. Okay. But it's like, no, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, that happened to me Friday. Slept well, woke up middle of the night, had to go to the bathroom, took care of business, came back, went to sleep, couldn't go to sleep for a minute. Then I got in the right spot and finally was ready to drift.
And that's the end of that.
Yes. Because it felt like I blinked.
And that's the end of that. Yep. And that's the end of that. And that's the end of that. Like I said, you knew where I was going when I said it. All right. Who hasn't been through that? And I mean, in a good spot too. It's one of those times you get woken up in the middle of the night and you have to go to the restroom. You take care of business, you come back, and then all of a sudden you blink and your alarm goes off.
Yeah.
Just when you're ready to drift. And you're like, what? I just fell back to sleep, man. Didn't care.
Nope.
Don't care. And you just go, why? Why? Doggone it. Why?
Yeah.
And your better half is going, why are you up? Like my wife did this morning. I'm up at I was up at 4:30, but then Lucy snuggled into me and like, Daddy, go back to sleep. And I look at her and I'm going, I'm trying to go back to sleep. Didn't work. And then my wife leans over and snuggles into me. And I'm like, I have to go back to sleep now. I got to sleep until at least 7 o'clock.
Right.
But then my brain wakes up and it's already in high gear. And it's like, you know, you got this to finish. You got to get your prep in before the show. I don't want to do it. I want to go back to sleep.
Right.
That's why yesterday I was so tired when I crashed. I physically and I mentally crashed. And I went right to bed. I went down from my nap. I had my alarm set for 12:30 so I can get up and edit the segments I needed. It didn't work. because I didn't hear my alarm. The next thing I knew, it was 2:30 in the afternoon. I woke up. I took my dog out. I came back upstairs. I fell out again.
Oh, wow.
I was tired.
Your body needed that rest.
Didn't realize. Yeah, my body did need that rest. So this morning I made a change. I didn't get good morning, Ivan Dawkins. I didn't go with the hot coffee.
Pleasure to meet you, bro.
I went with a big round of iced coffee. And so far so good.
Okay.
So far so I went ice this time. And I'll probably do it again. Probably do it again tomorrow. You're inside of the Tuesday edition of Snowman in the Morning. I'm getting ready to pick some brackets here. Do it at the bottom of the hour. I listed some goals on Facebook for 2024. And of course, I had a couple people make their comments. So why are you waiting for 2024? Because I have something to get rid of first. You know, my wife and I were talking before she left, and she said something to me that made a lot of sense. She looked at me and said, look, you got the Snowman brand out there already. Use it. Don't put away Snowman Digital Media, because it's you. It's a big part of you. It's a big part of us. And then she said something so profound that it rang a bell. Rang 100 bells. You are who you are. The Snowman is who you are. Don't try to fix it. I looked at her and I went, damn. So since then, I've been prepping Snowman Digital Media. I've already put posts out on Facebook saying, anybody know how to do logos? Because if I created, I'd be proud, but I have the feeling it wouldn't fit the brand. As crazy as that sounds.
I understand what you mean.
As crazy as that sounds, I just have the feeling it wouldn't fit the brand. So I've reached out to a couple of old friends of mine. I'm going to jump on Fiverr to see if someone can do a logo for me. I'll gladly pay for it. The Snowman in the Morning logos, I'm not changing those. Only change I made is I've added my co-host. That's it. I'm not changing anything else. But yeah, she said that one profound thing when she said, you are who you are. You are the Snowman. Don't fix it. Don't fix or reinvent. And actually her words were, yep. Her words to me were, don't reinvent yourself. Don't rebrand yourself, were her exact words.
She's right.
Yeah, she is. Now, I have to do something. And
you seem like you want to, but you're reticent about certain aspects as to why you want to.
You already know this. You already.
Oh boy.
It just you get to your day on Cole Sports on the daily where you want to send an email but you don't want to, but then you realize it must get done.
Yeah.
This is one of those times.
Oh no.
This is one of those times, and I don't want it to be. Email Bronsexuals. CC Laker fan. Subject of email. They both suck. Body of email. Okay, listen.
They both suck.
I've had people ask the question at the top of this season.
What's up, Ben?
Will they be able to repeat a 50-win season like they did last year before they got humiliated by the Phoenix Suns?
Well, they most certainly. Well, they couldn't do it even when they did get humiliated by them.
I looked all of these people square in the eye and I said, no, There's no way this Laker team, led by LeBron, if you want to call it that, would get 50 wins. And then the hate came down. All the way down. You just don't want to see LeBron succeed. To a point, you're right. Well, why do you say that? Do you know how he's handcuffed the NBA for almost 20 seasons? Him walking down the lane, and the refs are too afraid to call it and call it properly. Yeah, I said it right. He walks every time. Hubie Brown said it about Bill Walton during a Christmas Day game, and it applies in this case. Hubie Brown said it during a 1985 Christmas game against the Boston Celtics, where Bill Walton looked like he traveled when they actually knew what traveling was back then, just like refs knew what a catch was. That's later. And Hubie Brown says he walks every time. I've said that about LeBron to bronzexuals. Here I go cussing again. And a Laker fandom, not Laker Nation, but Laker fandom. And they said, so, I mean, you're not allowed to take 3 steps. He takes at least 4 when he's gathering himself for a jump shot or getting down the lane. And 8 times out of 10, they don't call it. I ask you, sir, what is wrong with this picture?
You mean the fact that he has superstar carte blanche with refs? Yeah,
because they seem to have. No, don't say it, Brian. Don't say it. Y'all know I wanna. I am, for a few reasons that I cannot get into on the air, restraining myself.
Oh, he's trying to be
at least until tomorrow. At least until tomorrow. I'm trying to restrain myself. Trying being the operative word. The very operative word.
And as you see, I'm not trying to fan the flames to do so. But that's
look, you're innocent of all charges. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
You're innocent of all charges. It's these stupid blankety blank bleep bleep bronzexuals that make me growl. I'll use my grandkids' phrase.
Growl.
That make me growl.
I like that.
My oldest granddaughter.
That's
Grampy. You're gonna make me growl.
That's a good one.
And I thought about that, and I said, I better keep that just in case.
I like.
Here's the just in case. Dealing with these fools.
So
go ahead.
Are you encountering? Okay, so the Raptors played the Lakers last night in Staples Center, Crypto.com Arena, and
they got mollywopped again.
So in the mollywopping, so the Lakers lost by double digits. Yet the figure that's at the center of why you were trying to restrain yourself. The number 1 scorer in the NBA this year, the leading scorer in the NBA this year, dropped 30 again.
Yep.
And people are saying, well, look at this 37-year-old do his thing in an 11-point defeat.
Yep.
Oh, brother.
Yep. And yes. Which is why me restraining myself is not working. At least not right. I'm reminded of the Incredible Hulk in the late 1970s. Bill Bixby played the title character.
Right.
You remember what he said. Mr. McGee, don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Mm-hmm.
These bronzosexuals are really, really trying to make these bronzosexual trolls. There you go. There's a layup for you. Are really trying to make me turn into the Incredible Hulk. And you know, if y'all watch that series, you already know when you see the green eyes, it's trouble.
Yeah.
When you see the green eyes and you hear that music, it's trouble. And there's a million places I could go with the remainder of this email, but all I will say is you bronzosexuals need to learn to watch the game carefully. Because you don't. You watch with your... Don't say that either. You watch with your blanks in your hand and your mouth on the floor. Ready to take in any and everything.
Oh my.
I can't help it. I'm trying to.
I shouldn't find entertainment in your restraining yourself, but it's just hilarious because I can understand it fully.
I know you can. That's why it's so hard for me to restrain myself.
Oh my gosh.
In the way that I'm trying to... Let me just close this out. Because if I really try to restrain myself, it's just not going to work. Sincerely, Brian Snow, CEO, Snowman Digital Media, host and creator, Snowman in the Morning, in proud partnership with Cole Sports. There. Because if I say anything else...
Well, I'll put it this way. They followed up a paltry 22-point performance in the first quarter of the last game they played while giving
with a
up
12-point performance.
While giving up 33.
By giving up 33 and scoring only 12. 12!
Oh my gosh.
We're presented by Michael Scott Insurance for this month. Give a call to 810-985-3211. And thank you to Michael Scott Insurance for the opportunity. 60 seconds from me doing my men's bracket out loud. And it seems like every time I try to do something new, it backfires. Let me show you what I mean.
Okay.
Excuse me. I got this little splitter in the mail from Amazon. I ordered 2 of these.
Okay.
And I thought if I use this in my phone, it would be good.
Mm-hmm.
Until I heard the replay yesterday and heard said echoes. Yeah. You don't want to know what I did with the other one.
I'm sorry to hear that. But yeah.
Don't be. I'm going to find a workaround for this to work. I'm going to find it. If anybody can find it, it's going to be me. I found workarounds before. All right. It's time to get down to business, and it's time for Old Snowman to do his bracket, and I'm doing this live right now. Let's start in the West region. Top seeded Gonzaga against Georgia State, going with the Zags. Boise State against Memphis, 8 versus 9. This is a tough one for me. The 8-9s are always tough. But I'm going to go with a little bit of an upset, and I'm going to choose Memphis.
Okay.
UConn and New Mexico State going with the Huskies. Arkansas and Vermont. I remember Vermont in 2005. This is not that team. Going with the Hogs. Whoops. Change. Going with the Hogs. Alabama will face the winner of Rutgers and Notre Dame. Who cares? Going with the Crimson Tide. They face the winner of Texas Tech and Montana State. And I saw Montana State eviscerate Northern Colorado in the Big Sky Championship. However, going with Texas Tech. Michigan State and Davidson. Going with the Dean, Tom Izzo. And then there's Duke and Cal State Fullerton. Nothing needs to be said.
Yeah.
Now, to the East Division, where top-seeded Baylor faces Norfolk State. Going with the defending champs. 8-9 goes North Carolina and Marquette. Normally, I would go with my fandom. This time, I'm not. Going with the Marquette Warriors.
Okay.
I don't like North Carolina's inconsistency.
I don't either.
I don't like North Carolina's inconsistency, and Marquette is the kind of team that can take them down. I'm going with the upset here. St. Mary's will face the winner of Wyoming and Indiana. Why
is Indiana in the playing game? I'm sorry. My bad.
Why? Thank you. Please ask that question again.
It's like,
Please say that question again.
Why on earth is Indiana in a playing game?
Indiana should be.
Well, I'll put it this way: why are they in the playing game?
And Michigan is not.
Michigan is not.
Indiana boat races. This is bias. This is bias.
Yeah, Indiana boat race Michigan. Yet they sail through to the tournament. Meanwhile, Indiana still has to play the way in. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to derail.
Yeah, I know. St. Mary's is going to face Indiana, and I'm going with the Gales.
Same.
UCLA and Akron going with UCLA. Even though their consistency scares me, going with UCLA. The Horns will face Virginia Tech.
Ooh.
I'm going with the Hokies.
Yeah,
I'm going with the Hokies. I don't trust inconsistency.
I don't trust them either.
Inconsistency is an idiosyncrasy of mine, and yes, I use two big words in the same sentence. Yeah, I see Virginia. I see Virginia Tech taking this one.
I'm not a fan.
Purdue and Yale. I'll trust Purdue. My wife won't, but I trust Purdue. Murray State and San Francisco, 7 versus 10. We're in the East bracket.
That was tough.
You know what? I'm going with the Dons. I'm going with Bill Russell and Bill Cartwright's alma mater. Going with the Dons.
That's right.
Second seeded Kentucky versus St. Peter's. I'm going with the Wildcats. Now we head to the South region where the top seed is Arizona. Doesn't matter who they play. They're going to boat race them. Seton Hall and TCU, 8 versus 9. I'm going to go with the Pirates. In a slight advantage. Good morning, Sig Diggy. You're just in time as I make my picks here.
How you doing, brother?
Houston and UAB. This is trouble for Houston.
But I think they'll pull it out, though.
I'll go with Houston.
Yeah,
I'll go with the Houston Cougars.
Yeah.
Illinois and Chattanooga going with the Fighting Illini. We stay in the South region. Colorado State and Michigan going with Colorado State, and I hope they put up 100 on Michigan. I do.
I think a lot of people are in your camp and thought process.
I hope they put up 100 on Michigan. Tennessee and the Lancers of Longwood going with the Vols. Ohio State and Loyola Chicago. Sorry, Buckeyes. Going with my Ramblers. I'm going with the Ramblers. And then second seed Villanova and Delaware going with the Wildcats. Wildcats have been there before.
Before
in the Midwest.
Before you go to the Midwest, Tennessee got robbed. I just have
to say
that. The Tennessee got robbed. They should have been a number 2 seed, but I digress.
I digress too. All right, to the Midwest region we go. Kansas faces the winner of Texas Southern and whoever the heck else they're playing. Going with Kansas. San Diego State and Creighton, 8 versus 9. These 8-9s are good. Yeah. These 8-9s are good.
Almost all of them are.
I'm going with the Blue Jays. I'm going to go with the Creighton Blue Jays. Iowa and Richmond, got to go with the Hawkeyes. Providence and South Dakota State. Nah, no Jackrabbits here. Going with the Friars.
Okay. So no
Louisiana.
No 13 upset over 4. Okay.
I can't do it with I can't do it. I want to, but I can't.
I feel you. I can't either.
LSU and Iowa State. This is an eeny, meeny, miny, mo pick.
Well said.
I'll go with Iowa State.
Well said, because I'm really not feeling either
That's
team.
an eeny, meeny, miny, mo pick. Sig with a great question. Do I hate the Wolverines that much? Yes.
Wait. Well, actually, the answer is no. Because
Baloney. Yes.
No. It's not the Wolverines you hate so much. It's Juwan Howard you do.
Okay, fair enough. Because that's fair enough. Because I was a fan of the Fab Five, which Juwan Howard was a part of. Right. And that's the only reason he got the job coaching at Michigan after I can't think of his name. I'm blanking on the previous coach's name. John Beeline. Made a beeline out of there.
Oh, nice.
All right. Wisconsin and Colgate going with the Badgers. USC and Miami. I'm actually going to go with an upset and take Miami. And then second seeded Auburn and Jacksonville State. I'm going with Auburn. Auburn should take care of business. Back to the top of the chart. We're in the round of 32. Gonzaga and Memphis. Gonzaga is going to be just too strong for them, and Memphis is not deep.
Agreed. And I love that team, but I agree.
I do. I do. Okay, there we go. UConn and Arkansas, 5 versus 4. Arkansas came on strong lately, so I'm going to go with the Hogs. Yeah. I'm going to go with the Hogs. They're hot right now.
Their second half was really strong. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. In the West, we're in the West region. Alabama and Texas Tech. I'm going with the Red Raiders. Michigan State and Duke. Sorry, Coach K. Your run ends here. Going with the Spartans.
Oh, okay.
3 of the last 4 times they faced each other, Tom Izzo has found a way. And I met the dean of Big Ten coaches. He'll find a way. I'm going with Michigan State.
Good guy.
All right, round of 32 in the East region. Baylor and Marquette going with the national champions.
Same.
St. Mary's and UCLA going with St. Mary's.
Okay.
Going with St. Mary's.
Punishing UCLA for their inconsistency.
Exactly.
Yeah, I understand.
UCLA and Virginia Tech and Purdue. Ooh, this is a toss of the coin. Because Virginia Tech is hot and Purdue has been good all year.
I love how Virginia Tech looked in the tournament.
And that's why I'm going to pick them here.
Yeah.
Virginia, I will call the upset with Virginia Tech. San Francisco and Kentucky, I'm not even going to entertain the upset there. Arizona and Seton Hall, I'm going with the Wildcats. Houston and Illinois, sorry, Houston.
I agree.
Illinois will take that one. Colorado State and Tennessee. Here's another eeny, meeny, miny, mo game. So I'm going with Tennessee here.
Yeah.
Loyola and Villanova. Loyola will spring the upset.
Oh.
I'm picking Loyola.
Okay.
Because 4 years ago, Loyola taught the nation a very important lesson, not to doubt them. I won't hear. Yeah. And besides, last year, Loyola knocked out the overall number 1 in Illinois. So I'm not taking any chances. Kansas and Creighton. I don't trust Kansas, so I'm going with Creighton.
Wow.
So the first number 1 to fall will be Kansas.
In the round of 32.
Round of 32. I don't trust Kansas.
Don't even have them go to Sweet 16. Wow.
No, I haven't seen anything with Kansas that has impressed me all year. I really haven't. How did Kansas get a number 1 seed? Yeah, I think the committee. This is a false number 1 seed. I think the committee just had to get that 4th number 1 seed to somebody, so they picked Kansas, as we're in the Midwest region. I don't trust Kansas.
Agreed.
I can't.
And I think since they didn't have another powerhouse in the Midwest that actually could take it, or like a Big Ten champ that says, yeah, okay, we can put you in that slot. Yeah, it was Kansas by default. I agree.
It was Kansas by default, and that's why they'll go down in the round of 32 against Creighton. Creighton has some great sharpshooters, but they can also work the ball inside. I will trust Creighton's outside game before Kansas's outside game.
That's a good point.
The Big Ten champs with Iowa and Providence. Got to go with the champs. Got to go with Iowa. So it'd be Creighton and Iowa heading for the Sweet 16. Iowa State and Wisconsin. Do I do it again? Yep, going with the Cyclones.
Oh, okay.
Miami and Auburn. Auburn was shaky down the stretch.
Yeah, they were.
Auburn was shaky down the stretch, and they will go down. I'm taking Miami.
Wow. Okay.
Now, back to the top of the chart. We're in the Sweet 16. Number 1 Gonzaga versus number 4 Arkansas. Going with Gonzaga.
Yeah.
Texas Tech at 3 and number 7 Michigan State. Got to go with the dean, Tom Izzo.
Agreed.
Izzo will go to the Elite 8. Now, in the East Division, they will play in Philadelphia. The regional will play in Philadelphia. The West Regional will grace the Chase Center in San Francisco. And you know they're going to be 20,000 screaming people there, and I love that. Baylor and St. Mary's. Sorry, St. Mary's. Got to go with the champs. Virginia Tech and Kentucky.
Oh, I wanted
Virginia
to
Tech.
Upset so bad.
I'm going with it.
Upset? Okay.
I'm going with it.
Okay.
I'm going with it. I love Kentucky, but that game against Tennessee exposed a lot of flaws. They exposed a lot of flaws. And the biggest flaw they exposed is their youth. Baylor, Virginia Tech is more experienced. They proved it when they boat raced North Carolina.
And then backdoored it by beating Duke. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They boat raced North Carolina and then backed it up by beating Duke, which made our favorite Homer very mad.
I'm sure.
So that's why
Joe.
I don't see North Carolina getting out of the first round. I'm going with the upset. I'm going with Virginia Tech over Kentucky. Mm-hmm. Arizona and Illinois. This should be a national championship game, but unfortunately, it's a Sweet 16 game. Oh, brother. Which way do I lean here? I got to go with the Cats.
I agree.
If there's a consistent number 1 seed all year, it's been the Arizona Wild. It's been 2. It's been Gonzaga and it's been Arizona.
Yeah.
It's been Gonzaga and Arizona. Tennessee and Loyola, I'm going with the Ramblers.
Oh, okay.
I'm going with the Ramblers.
You have them going all the way to Elite 8. Okay.
Yes, I do. 4 years ago they did it. I'm not giving up on them now.
All right.
I'm not giving up on them now. Creighton and Iowa. This is where Iowa's inside game pummels Creighton. So I'm going with the Hawkeyes. 11 seed Iowa State and 10th seeded Miami. You know, I picked Miami to beat Auburn because of Auburn's inconsistency down the stretch. Here you have 2 low-seeded teams that can play each other 10 times out of 10, and they'll split.
Right.
This is a coin flip, and I'm going with Iowa State.
Oh, okay.
I'm going with Iowa State. All right. We're to the Elite 8. Gonzaga and Michigan State, and this is where the Dean's run ends. I'm going with Gonzaga. They are like the Warriors, and they will backdoor you to death. That's been Mark Few's, and I've seen Mark Few's team play in person over the years. They will cut backdoor on you all night long. I'm going with Gonzaga. Baylor and Virginia Tech, as much as I want to, you know, I don't have a real big upset until I picked Virginia Tech to beat Kentucky.
Right.
Therefore, as my wife would say, I'm picking this one with the knowledge that I'm going to be wrong. But I'll go with it. I'm going with Virginia Tech. I'm doing this against my better judgment.
Oh, so you're going to have
I want to see Virginia Tech ride the momentum of the ACC championship all the way to New Orleans.
Wow, okay.
All the way to New Orleans.
Okay.
All right. Arizona and Loyola. This is where Loyola's run ends. Arizona's just too damn good. Iowa and Iowa State. Oh boy.
How fitting.
I'll go with it. I'm going with Iowa State.
So you have, all right. To recap, you have 2 11 seeds advancing to the Final Four.
Yes.
Mm.
Virginia Tech and Iowa State. I just trust how hot Virginia Tech was or is when they boat raced North Carolina and then beat up Duke.
Yeah, they did beat up Duke.
They took them to school inside.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to take Baylor to school inside. Like I said, I made that pick against my better judgment, and also the Iowa State pick against my better judgment. So I'm going with it. Gonzaga and Virginia Tech. Gonzaga will cut them to pieces.
Yeah, they're just too good.
All right, we're in New Orleans for the Final Four. Arizona and Iowa State, same thing. I'm going with Arizona. So you have a pair of number ones meeting on Monday night for the national championship. And to crown my champion is Arizona. My national championship, number one Gonzaga against number one Arizona. And my final pick will be the Arizona Wildcats.
All right, so you have Arizona being the national champion this year. Okay.
I have Arizona winning it all. Like I said, a couple of those picks, I will admit, I made against my better judgment. But if there's one thing North Carolina State taught me in 1983, it's a simple phrase: survive and advance. And 2 number 11s will survive and advance. The 2 number 11s I picked, especially Virginia Tech over Baylor, that's a heart pick. That's not a brain pick. That's a heart pick. But I just see Virginia Tech getting on a roll, especially, again, after they boat raced North Carolina and shut them down, and then backed it up and shut Duke down. I just trust Virginia Tech out of the ACC to beat Baylor. That's going to be a close game. If Baylor gets started early, they'll blow them out. If Baylor is able to get inside on Virginia Tech early, they'll blow them out. They'll blow them out in Philadelphia. My West Regional Final has Gonzaga, Michigan State. That's at the Chase Center in San Francisco. East Regional Final graces Philadelphia with Baylor and Virginia Tech. South Regional Final goes Arizona and Loyola. Midwest Regional Final in the United Center, the Battle of Iowa and Iowa State. My national championship game goes Gonzaga, Arizona, and my national champion is the Arizona Wildcats. Arizona has been the most consistent. Arizona and Gonzaga have been the most consistent number one seeds all year. I can't trust Kansas. I can't trust Kansas. And until the Elite Eight, I won't trust Baylor. Baylor will get to the Elite Eight, I feel, against Virginia Tech, but I think Virginia Tech will cut them to shreds if they're able to start hot early. If Baylor starts hot early, they'll cut them to pieces. Virginia Tech, I made that pick simply on heart. Crazy as that sounds, but I did. Those are my man's picks, folks. Who's your national champion? Tweet the show at official SIT Morn. That's official SIT Morn as we head toward hour 2 of today's program. Want to thank Michael Scott Insurance for sponsoring us today. Give Michael Scott Insurance a call at 810-985-3211. That's 810-985-3211. Michael Scott Insurance, protecting what matters most. Want to sponsor the show? drop an email to snowmaninthemorning@gmail.com. That's snowmaninthemorning@gmail.com. So what do you think?
I am all right. Let me see. I'm not surprised that you had teams like Duke getting out before they even get to the Sweet 16. I don't really trust them either.
How can you?
Yeah.
How can you?
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't trust Duke.
Yeah.
I don't trust Kansas.
I'm definitely gonna get to Kansas in a minute. I am surprised you have St. Mary's go all the way to Sweet 16, and that you have the Wildcats being bounced to the Sweet 16. But that the surprise normally for me in this instance would be, I'm surprised you're not going by name recognition. You're going by how the team is flowing. And Kentucky, for me, they to their standards, I don't think they are the golden standard of the SEC type of teams that we normally see them be, where it's like it's Kentucky and there's the rest of the SEC. I don't feel that way about them this year.
No, nor do I. Nor do I. BS3 Network. Will Gonzaga finally win it all? No. They'll get to the championship game at the Superdome, but then they'll see Arizona.
But to have a number one,
it'll be a 100 to 95 kind of game.
Yeah.
Considering these two are part of the top, these are two of the top 5 scoring offenses in the nation. It'll be a 100 to 95 kind of game, but Gonzaga, I hate saying it because would I love to see Gonzaga win it all? Yeah. But only if they don't face Arizona.
I have to laugh though that you have Kansas being bounced in the round of 32. You don't even have them getting them. You don't even have them going to the Sweet 16.
Hell no. Hell no. If it was Larry Brown or Bill Self, I'll have a little more faith in him.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the committee said, we don't have a fourth powerful number one that we can put, a fourth powerful team we can put in that number one seed.
Well, remember, was it? No, it was the week. It was a week after Juwan threw that punch. You had the top 6 teams falling.
Yes, in the craziest week I've ever seen. Crazy.
Yeah. So,
which includes Gonzaga, which includes Arizona.
So to further your point of, well, we can't find the fourth number one. 2 weeks before that happened. So, yeah.
Yeah, can't find and somehow Kansas gets a number 1 seed.
Name recognition only.
And that's all it is. That's all it is for Kansas.
Yeah, name recognition.
That's all it is for Kansas.
Yeah. Name recognition they can hold. Well, we're Big 12 champs. Besides that,
I haven't trusted Kansas all year. Nor will I. I have not trusted Kansas all year.
No, I mean teams. Like
I'm sorry, Rock Chalk Jayhawk. My behind.
Teams like Texas, who they should boat race. They're taking Kansas to overtime in Lawrence. No, I do not trust Kansas. No.
And you can't let a team like Texas, which is, you want the model of inconsistency. There you go. I submit to you the Texas Longhorns.
Yeah.
I mean, Kansas should be blowing them out by 30.
Right.
In Fog Allen Fieldhouse. And they weren't.
No.
They simply weren't.
No. They needed overtime to beat them. And that to me is a clear-cut sign of, well, this is not the Kansas that I know.
Exactly. It's not. Nor will it be.
Mm-mm.
Nor should it be. Let's be real. Nor should it be. This ain't Kansas. This is not Kansas.
Mm-mm.
And I know a lot of people are going to say, what? You don't believe in the Jayhawks? Not since 1988. Because if there was a time you should have believed in them, should have been 1991 when they got smacked by North Carolina. It should have been 1991 in Indianapolis. Period. But no, Kansas had to let people down. Again, are we surprised? No.
Yeah, they seem to do that often in the tournament.
I am not surprised. All right, and I should correct my year. Since 2008, when Memphis should have closed the deal in San Antonio, Texas. 8-point lead with a minute to go. And I love you, Derrick Rose, but 8-point lead with a minute to go. Andrew, check it in. I don't trust Duke or Kansas either. Thank you.
Don't.
Thank you.
Don't. I'm with you, man. I don't.
I can't do it, and I won't do it. My team is Seton Hall. Go Pirates.
Glad to see them actually returning to prominence.
Same. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. And they needed to return to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
They needed to return.
Yeah.
But doggone it, I know we're staying on Kansas a lot as we head to hour 2. I don't trust them, nor will I. I can't do it. I just can't do it.
Yeah.
I certainly can't trust Duke after their paltry performance in the ACC tournament.
Let's see. This is what was supposed to happen. So you had Arizona and Gonzaga. They pretty much is going to be your 1-2.
Yes.
And so they just had to figure out, all right, so I think we'll put Baylor through. And they thought it was going to be between Auburn and Duke for the fourth number 1.
And it's not.
Auburn falters, and then Duke falls off the map. So
right on their face.
Mm-hmm.
Right on their face. All right, folks, it's time for hour 2. Dave Jagler, take it away, please.
We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
You called and blank, stunning black, stirring and blinking blank, what are you trying to do? Of all that low dirty...
This is Snowman in the morning.
Oh, yeah!
Kelly's one-strike pitch. Swinging a fly ball, center field deep. Bellinger going back to the warning track, to the wall. It's a grand slam! Howie Kendrick has done it! They're going crazy in the Nationals dugout! Howie Kendrick with a grand slam here in the 10th inning of Game 5. The Nationals 7, the Dodgers 3.
Holy on smoke!
Do you believe it?
Dave Jagler, one half of one of the best broadcast teams in the majors, along with Charlie Slows, bringing us in with that call from 2019 as Howie Kendrick broke the hearts of Dodger fans all across the nation with that hit. That, of course, was the grand slam to seal Game 5 of that division series. Why did I love that game so much, even though my heart belongs with the White Sox? It's pretty simple. Except for one, Dodger fans equal Cowboy fans.
Well, no, you stole my thunder. I only looked at one for one reason only, is because to see Dodger fan disappointed makes me happy.
Which is why 2020 got on my nerve.
Yeah, I mean, you and me both.
I mean, I love you, Charlie Steiner, 88 and out the gate. Congrats to the team. But there was some controversy behind that. Actually, there wasn't. You know, a player got pulled because of protocol concerns. Good, pull him.
Yeah.
But these here I go again. Here I go again. All right, here it is. These Dodger fans want so badly to claim a championship that should have been theirs in 2017.
They don't even celebrate the one they got in 2020. I agree with you.
Which is why I was so glad when the Atlanta Braves pummeled the Dodgers in 6 games
Same here.
this past year.
Same here.
They beat them to shreds. And you know what? I got a prediction. They're going to beat them to shreds again. The Dodgers will not get out of the division series.
It was beautiful to see them show why they were the better team of the two.
Yep. Subscribe to the show on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/snowman in the morning 50. And while you're on YouTube, give a subscribe to Cole Johnson and Cole Sports on the Daily, as well as the Mothership. He's got great content coming all over the place. Andre Johnson will join me at the bottom of the hour, which means in about 12 minutes, I will do my women's bracket. If time permits, and I got to say, if time permits, I'll get to the women's bracket. If not, then matter of fact, I'll go ahead and make this executive decision. I will do my women's bracket tomorrow during hour 1 because I want to spend a lot of time. I want to spend a lot of time on the women's bracket and on women's sports. There's so much to unpack with that. We'll unpack it all tomorrow. But yeah, let's go to an unpopular opinion. And I'm mad at myself that I didn't upload the opening that you so cleverly put together for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I still need to send you some sound so you can put openings together for the mothership, Snowman in the morning, using your words.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the unpopular opinion that I didn't get a chance to get to yesterday. Since I've seen him in the league, Russell Westbrook has been trash.
Oh my gosh.
I'll say that again. For this unpopular opinion, it's pretty simple. Russell Westbrook, as far as I've seen him, has been trash. He's been absolute 100% trash. This season is only a microcosm of what Russell Westbrook has always been to me. He was celebrated in Oklahoma City until 2016 when they a 3-1 lead against the defending champion Golden State Warriors.
Well, he did what?
Oh, you want me to repeat that?
Yeah, yes, please repeat it.
I'll repeat the entire thought.
Yeah,
Russell Westbrook was celebrated in Oklahoma City until 2016 when he a 3-1 lead against the defending champion Golden State Warriors. Now I got to get a drink. Too bad this ain't liquor, but I don't drink liquor. But
and then he went on his season triple-double campaign.
You know those triple-doubles are bloated, right?
Oh, no, they couldn't be bloated. I mean, after all, there was
Don't make me cuss.
There weren't some rebounds where
Don't make me cuss.
There weren't some rebounds where Steven Adams just ran to the other side of the court and Russell Westbrook said, I got it.
No, there weren't those incidents at all.
Oh,
even though we saw all the video evidence. As I said, I'm being good this morning. Tomorrow, I won't be. And
oh my.
Ben Sutterth, I hope you like the performance. If you want me to go back old school tomorrow, I will. And Russell Westbrook has been flat out, straight up trash.
Man.
I'll say it again. His MVP season where he averaged a triple-double, all those numbers are bloated.
I have a picture I only wish I could show it to you now, but
no.
but it's a picture of Tupac
Oh gosh.
looking old. I mean, looking like he's 70 years old. Red bandana tied on his head. The mustache is salt and peppery. So are the eyelashes. The face has wrinkles on it.
Right.
And he's wearing gear like he would when he was 24, 25.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of the picture, it says Tupac, if Westbrook was the shooter.
Wow. Wow. Fabulous.
If that
absolutely fabulous.
If that isn't an indictment on Russell Westbrook's inability to shoot, I don't know what is.
You know, Russell has always had that problem. He had it at UCLA. He had it at OKC. He had that problem in Houston, Washington, and now Los Angeles. He's never been able to shoot the basketball consistently.
Awkward, man. The shot looks awkward.
Lonzo Ball has corrected his jump shooting motion.
Right. I mean, it almost.
Why hasn't Russell Westbrook?
It almost seems as if he jumps and he doesn't release it until he's coming down from his leap. I'm thinking, how in the world?
He lands, it's a travel.
Yeah.
He lands, it's a trap. He lands, it's a travel. Okay?
Yeah, it just looks awkward. And you know, and I would think, okay, you work on your game in the summertime. You do pick up games.
Supposedly. And I can't help but say it, supposedly.
Well,
okay.
Well, and of course, so does the recoup my $20 million man in Ben Simmons.
Yep.
But in these games, you see the proof being in the pudding in, okay, you do all that work and the result is still the same. You can't literally hit the broadside of a barn with the shot that you have.
Even if the barn was 5 feet from you.
And
can I invoke a little Jim Durham here?
Please.
Even if the barn was a 5-footer in the lane.
Not a 5-footer.
Listen, Jim Durham and Chick Hearn taught me distances, okay? Then I went and walked on the floor with quite a few players and they showed them to me. And I got a funny broadcast story to share after I get through this unpopular opinion. I mean, you want to talk about a player being trash? No jump shot, bad teammate, doesn't pass the ball until he realizes he's close to a triple-double, and that's been his entire career. And no championship killer instinct. I submit to you, 2016.
And no self-accountability. I mean,
none. Doesn't that remind you of somebody? Talk about him tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. It boggles my mind. And then he wonders why people boo him.
And say that again, please. And say that again, please.
All of what you just
and he wonders what?
And he wonders why people boo him. And he
gosh.
And he has the nerve in post-game press conferences to sing this song and dance. And I made a video of it last week.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And it was fabulous. And I'm so glad you did.
Thank you, sir. Look, the death threats toward Nina and his family, of course that doesn't fly. And that should not go.
And it shouldn't. And it should not fly. It should not fly.
But you're going to take umbrage with the fact that people chant Westbrick. Dude, I get if they talk ill about your color, they talk ill about
your family.
They talk ill about your family, they say a racial slur in your direction. I get that.
Mm-hmm. I get all of that.
But you're
absolutely get all of that.
But you're gonna fall on the sword saying that this is your family name, and I take pride in my family name, and people have the audacity to chant Westbrick, and you take umbrage to that? No, man, you ain't supposed to take umbrage to them chanting Westbrook. You should take umbrage with the fact that your game motivates them to chant Westbrook and change that. But
it's all about being the game's MVP, as Sick Diggy says. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, he's trying to be, I said this
even in
2017.
Losses, exactly.
Yep. Even in losses. I said this in 2017 when he was unfortunately awarded the most valuable player.
I knew that.
It shouldn't have been him.
It shouldn't have been him, but
I did too. I did too. I got friends down in Jasper that'll argue me to the end, including Greg Rakestraw, who I've had on the show, and I'm going to get him back on the show, that says, why don't you think Westbrook should be the MVP? And I explained it, but then at the same time, I caught the drift. It should be Westbrook. Saw it coming. Didn't want to believe it. Saw it coming.
Yeah.
Okay. But you want to crown someone an MVP that's a first round player and doesn't even get through the first round. See, when I bring stuff like that up, and forgive me, I've got sinus issues. I bring stuff like that up and people look at me weird.
Well, I mean, after 2016 after 2016, did he advance past the first round? Oh, no, he advanced past the first round once. Now it's 2020.
20.
And in game 7 of the first round, 2020, he shot 4-17. I mean, so
does that not tell you anything, folks?
They advanced in spite of him, not because of him. Yeah, so
they advanced in spite of him, not because of him.
Right.
Okay. You wonder why. You wonder, and you all wonder why I feel the way I feel.
And this is what I find utterly egregious. The man that we failed to mention supposedly has one of the best IQs in the history of the National Basketball Association.
Please don't get me started on that subject.
If that is the case, and if that is true, then why would he lobby, whimper, cry, kvetch, and beg and implore like James Brown, the front office of the Lakers, to sign this guy? When you look at this game, Russell Westbrook is a 6'3" version of him.
And why? Has been since its arrival. The only difference, Russell played a couple of years at UCLA. That's the only difference.
Why? I mean, if he was that intelligent, he would know that wouldn't be a good fit because he plays the same style I do. I can't really mesh with him.
I got more on that tomorrow with you know who. And one of those, and y'all know what I mean when I say one of those, we'll kick off the program. Sick Diggy with a question. Do you remember when he was crying in his acceptance speech when he addressed his wife? Yes, I do remember. And in situations like that, I allow it.
Yeah.
Because whenever I speak of my wife, I'm in tears.
I'm cool with
that. But they're happy tears.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
But they're happy tears because, as I've said on this program, and I'll talk on my other podcast this coming Friday, Jody saved my life. I'll save that story for later in the week.
But remember, Russell Westbrook called himself a champion.
But he's not.
When someone basically said you don't have any rings, he actually returned fire and say that he was a champion.
You know, Russell Westbrook and I have the same number of rings. There you go. That's my unpopular opinion for this morning. Sam Just, aka Sam Shady Sports, who I will have on Thursday. Good morning, fellas. Good morning to you. Actually, I'll have Sam on Friday during the Football Friday version, Football Friday edition.
Happy to see you, bro.
Happy to see everybody that's been hanging with us and has hung with us
and Andrew,
while I get all this together.
And I agree with you, Andrew. I totally agree with you.
Go out there and prove them wrong.
Yeah. Embrace
Yeah,
hate
here's
and
the
prove 'em
problem.
wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's the problem. He hasn't embraced the hate, nor has he proven us wrong.
And
Oops.
won't.
And won't.
He won't, yeah.
And won't. Because someone got him great contracts.
Why would you say to your home crowd, they boo me? Okay. If this is how they feel, they could take their A home. Why would you say that to your home crowd? They saw you get
distancing
your butt whooped by
themselves,
28.
Distancing himself from his team and his home crowd even further.
Right.
Okay.
That crowd saw you get your butt whooped by 28, and then they got a chance to witness. You said in the post-game press conference, LeBron James, the homeboy talking ill toward the crowd, and Trevor Ariza talking ill toward the crowd, all within the same game. And you basically saying to them, yeah, they can do what they want. Don't bother. They can do whatever they want. They can go home. Why?
Yeah. Why? Just why? Why are you doing that? Steph Curry is a champion 3 times over. Russell Westbrook can claim to be an uncrowned champion, but he's more of a brick. Got that right. You got that right. Right on the money.
He's more of what
he
throws
on
up.
The money. Yeah, a lot of what
throws
up.
Yeah, bricks.
A ton of bricks. A ton.
So many bricks he can live the projects off of them.
Yeah, and I've seen my share of projects.
Same.
I've seen my share of projects. Not fun.
No. At all.
Okay. I hit this yesterday, but I'm going to hit it again today.
All right.
But here's a preview for tomorrow. Spring training is here. Major League Baseball season is April 7th. And this week, I don't know which day yet, I'll give my American League picks. And I have a surprise in the East Division. I'll just leave it at that. Meanwhile, Kevin Durant drops 53. That should tell you all you need to know about the Brooklyn mess. I have said this many hundred times before when Kevin Durant signed with the Brooklyn mess, and I will not correct that name. I will not correct that name because they're a mess. But I already went in on. I still have more to cover with Kyrie Irving. I'll do that Thursday.
But Durant's 53 made the World People's Champion happy.
When he shouldn't have been there in the first place, unvaccinated and unmasked.
Unmasked, yes.
Do you see my arms across my chest? So, the Woke People's Champion needs to stay his blank out of buildings where he's not allowed. And if I were the Brooklyn, okay, you're going to have to forgive me for this one. Y'all are going to have to forgive me for this one because you know what's coming. If I were the Brooklyn mess and they got fined $50,000 by the league for violating protocol, which is absolutely what should have happened, but they should have been fined 5 times that. They should have been fined 5 times that. Knowing the fact that Kyrie Irving is unvaccinated and unmasked, and he's in your building, he's in your building, Michael K said it best about Javier Baez, and I'm going to use the line right now, and I'm going to ask everybody to forgive me. I'd call Kyrie Irving into the office. I'd take out his contract and show it to him.
You get a real big
I would
saying this.
I would pull every rule that has been written down, and I'd release his ass today.
You won't pass go. You won't see if there's
do
a
not
trade
pass
partner.
go. Do not collect $200. Just get out.
You won't see if there's any viable trade partners that you can
Who
shake.
would want this problem? Who
Stephen
would
A.
want this? Who would want this problem?
Stephen A. Smith actually put forth a really good option going forward. Yeah, I agree with you, Sick.
If one can embrace the hate, I'll read this comment. If one can embrace the hate and feed off the crowd's negativity, they could be the league's greatest villains since the bad boy Pistons. You know who that team is? The Golden State Warriors.
What was I going to say?
Let me repeat my sentence. I'd call Kyrie Irving into the office and I'd release his ass today. There.
Here's what's so messed up about that whole situation.
What, Kyrie Irving signing with them in the first place?
Stephen A. Smith had a really good, and for those who want to know my opinion of Stephen A. Smith,
tune in Friday. Leave it there. Tune in Friday.
But his solution with Kyrie actually makes sense. He said, "Yeah, I will sign him to some contracts, 1 year at a time."
Yeah.
If you sign the contracts, yes. I'm almost of the ilk. Yeah. I'm almost of the ilk. That's cold, Andrew. I'm almost of the ilk that you ain't supposed to even have him on your team, because we've been in organized sports almost all our lives. I've played in football. And I have coached basketball. I could tell you one of the tenets of actually playing or even coaching a team is that you should have your teammates' best interest at heart, no matter if you're the number one guy or number 53 in my case, since I play football. You're supposed to have every other teammate's best interest at heart, which means if your talents are best served to be on the field, or in Kyrie's case, on the court, you should do everything you can to put yourself on the court to help your team win. Otherwise, your actions are going to be looked upon by the teammates as selfish and self-serving. And because of that, you mean to tell me that all of the Nets, front office, the coaching staff, and the players have no issue whatsoever with Kyrie? I'll wait. Because it's going to have to take Durant scoring 53 against
every time out
against a BS Knicks team, and they barely won the game. And this is against a team that they wouldn't even see the playoffs. Imagine him having to do that against the Bulls, the Heat, the Sixers. And we saw him do it last year against the Bucks, and you saw what happened at the end result of that. It's going to have to take the same performance night in and night out again from this guy, and it's unfair to Durant.
Yeah. I'm going to suggest something I shouldn't. Oh, great question. Will the Nets ever return to New Jersey? Unfortunately, no.
I hate that. Yeah.
Unfortunately, no. Since Kid Carter Jefferson days, when they played in New Jersey.
Yeah. The best
when they played at Brendan Byrne Arena.
And that was the best they ever looked. That was the best Nets ever looked.
When they played at the Meadowlands Arena. Doggone it.
That was the best they ever looked.
And they'll never look that way again, especially with the people they have in place now.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Jay-Z got out of Dodge. I'm trying, okay?
It's the Rock.
Give me a piece.
Oh, I can't do that more.
It's the give me a piece of credit. I'm trying, okay?
Well, yeah, I'll give you credit. I'll give you credit.
I'm trying. I am. But I can't do it. Under Byron Scott, especially. Yeah.
That was when they were at their best.
That was when they were at their peak.
You had Kid Carter Jefferson on the team and Byron Scott coaching them. That was the best the Nets ever looked. Yes.
Haven't been the same since. And they thought they'd do better in Brooklyn. Riddle me this. What the blank have they done in Brooklyn since they got there? I'll answer that. Nothing.
they imagined that they would get.
I'll
more
answer
than-
that. They haven't done a doggone thing since they got to Brooklyn. Especially if he comes from the crowd like he usually does.
Oh my gosh. I might get sued. Oh man. Oh Lord. Self high five. No, I'm sorry. Look, I love Mr. Yoga Man, but no.
That phase is gone. Okay.
Yes.
And I've done DDP yoga, and it's actually helped me.
Yeah.
And be real.
I'm not clowning the guy. In fact,
Right.
I think it's great. I think what he does there is wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
I just poke fun.
I'm gonna wind up getting the whole program, especially when I get out of the hospital.
Yeah, I just poke fun at him, and I believe it's sick. I totally believe it.
Mm-hmm.
I believe DDP sued
Jay-Z got the heck out of Dodge when he saw the Nets falling on their faces.
But the thing is,
and I'm so happy he did.
This is what they figured. They figured the Knicks absolutely, positively suck. And you have the worst owner that you possibly could have in the NBA in Dolan. And they figured they can get a piece of that pie and get into that and break into that share of the Knicks owning New York like the Cubs own Chicago. And
yeah, until my White Sox won it all in 2005.
Right. And they figured, okay, well, we can nudge our way into the New York market, but we can't do it in New Jersey. We have to do it on one of the New York boroughs. And the thing is,
leave it there for now. Because I thought I had my guest in here. Because if we keep going, then I'm just glad Jay-Z got away when he did.
Yeah, he saw it. He saw the handwriting on the wall, and he was smart to leave.
And he beat it. Like, you can take my shares. I don't care. You can take my shares. I'm gone. Waiting for AJ Jones to ring in. We'll have him on here in a moment. But yeah, I got a lot more to say about that. Sam Shade, are you from Chicago? Southsider, born and raised, baby.
Yeah, he is.
Southsider, wrong way. Wrong way.
There we go.
There you go. That way. Yep.
Yeah, he is.
There it is. If y'all think we're this wild and we're separated by miles, wait till he's in the studio with me.
Well, sad now, I probably would do that live.
Oh, I know.
In person.
You just did. Let's bring in AJ Jones. AJ, what's going on, my man?
Man, how you doing? How you guys doing?
Doing good, man. How are you?
Hey, it's been a long time since I've been up this early in the morning.
AJ, I can't. There you go. Now you know how my partner feels early in the morning.
Man, I've worked in radio over 40 years. One show I never did was the morning show. Never did the morning show. Now I know why.
Yeah, I wake up at 6 in the morning every morning. So yeah.
40 years and you never done a morning show?
Never did the morning show. Yeah, no, I gave the morning sports updates to the interns. Like, look, go cut your teeth. Go get up, get your coffee, go cut your teeth.
I'll take the midday and the evenings. Yes,
hey,
bring them this way.
It's still sports in the afternoon. I promise you, it's still sports in the afternoon.
It's like that morning stuff's for the birds. I'll take the midday and the evening. Come on.
I take the midday. I'll take the evening. Look, I did afternoons and I did midday. But some reason a voice in my head said try to get and said when I form Snowman in the morning, either get in the morning, and I have to stay in the morning because of the title. Now I went middays for a while, but then I had health issues come up, and my wife said, "Look, you may need to go back early, just so you can get the show in, get your editing done, and then get your rest," which I truly listened to.
Yeah.
All right. Where are you located, man?
I'm in Houston, Texas.
Houston. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
H-Town. Okay.
Yeah, we're kind of in the news right now. Our quarterback is kind of drawing some attention right now.
Just a little.
Don't talk about Deshaun Watson.
Okay, then you can answer this question for me, AJ. Is it the Houston Texans or do you go old school with the Houston Oilers?
Oilers. There's one football team in Houston. It's the Oilers.
Thank you. And it's the Houston Oilers.
Yes.
And it's the Houston Oilers.
Yes.
They could blow up the Astrodome, bring the Oilers back, and they play at NRG Stadium. Bring the oil derricks back. Bring the powder blue uniforms back. They could play at NRG Stadium with all the modern amenities. But for me, I can't say the Houston Texans consistently. I can say the Houston Oilers all day long.
Quick story. So when I moved to Nashville, of course, that's where the Oilers moved. And I said to my wife, I will never root for the Titans. Never.
But you know what's crazy? The crazy thing is that the Titans took all of the history. So the Oilers, the Texans cannot go back to the powder blue or anything like that. They don't own the history. So it's all up there in Tennessee.
Right. So she said, when are you gonna start rooting for him? We're gonna be living in Nashville. I was like, never. And so I went to a Titans game, and the moment I saw Robert Brazile and George Blanda and Earl Campbell and Warren Moon and those names posted and strewn all around Nissan Stadium's building, I said, man, I don't believe this. None of these bumpkins know anything about these guys. None. Zero. They have no tie to them. Yet they are franchise players for this franchise, but they have no clue.
Right.
And it served to anger me further. And I'm like, man, I can't ever root for the Titans because I will always have that in the back of my mind. They're Oilers.
They're the Oilers, as far as I'm concerned. They're the Houston Oilers, and they should have remained the Houston Oilers. The same thing holds true with the Oklahoma City Thunder, because they should always be the Seattle Supersonics.
Supersonic.
I think a lot of people don't know how amazing that franchise was, the Seattle Supersonics, because they would not have so easily allowed it to be melded in and overshadowed by Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City had a run of its own, but it still does not overshadow the Seattle Supersonics.
Preach. Just plain preach. And one of the best. Listen, all the Tennessee Titan fans know is Steve McNair, and Eddie George, and that team that went to the Super Bowl, in 1999.
Yep.
Right.
They don't know about the House of Pain and the losses and the wins against the Cleveland Browns. I mean, I want to say it was 88. Cole, you can correct me. I want to say it was 88 where they had to beat the Browns to get into the playoffs, and then they had to to beat them again to advance, but they lost.
No. What happened was, if they beat the Browns the last game of the regular season, they would have eliminated the Browns. But if the Browns beat them, they'd have to go back to Cleveland and play them again.
In the round. Yep.
Okay.
So Oilers choked away the third quarter of that game and lost. So they had to go back to Cleveland for the wild card.
Play them in Cleveland again.
They choked the third quarter away at that game, but in the fourth quarter they found a way to beat them by 1 point.
Right.
And
then they advanced and went on to play Buffalo, and
we know what happened. Hey, I was
going to say, what happened there.
Go easy on the word choke down here. Go easy on the word choke down here. It's still fresh. People still get triggered. Please. Please.
Yes, that's why I try not to mention the 1992 AFC wildcard game for that very reason.
I wasn't going to mention that game.
I still get upset to this day thinking about that.
Yeah. Well,
Chris Dishman is one of my guys. I'm not name dropping. I mean, he literally is like family. Mm-hmm. And bruh, that's still a sore topic. I mean, he's already a quiet, laid back dude. Mm-hmm. Start bringing that up, that game, and we'll shut him down, and not intentionally. It's just it's bad, man. Really bad.
Oh boy, oh boy! I watched it happen. Okay, and I was watching in the den with my parents, and my parents said this game is over. So I retreated. I went upstairs. I grabbed a snack and I went upstairs. I said this game's done, and it wasn't one of my key picks for that season anyway.
Man. I was in the military at the time.
So. I woke up. I swear to God, I laid down for an hour and I woke up and I see overtime. And I literally went, what the hell happened?
Dude, I was in the military at the time.
I found out later. Oh boy.
When I saw Bub McDowell return that interception for a touchdown to go up 35-3, I turned that TV off.
And you thought it was over. Thought it was over.
Okay.
Yep.
We'll see you in Pittsburgh. Turned the TV off, went and got lunch, came back. I saw BB runner off for a touchdown, and I saw the score. I'm like, oh, heck no. And then I said apoplectic the following 2 hours. Oh, man.
I think a lot of Houstonians sat apoplectic the following 2 hours. I told you, I went to sleep, okay, because my parents said it was over. It's 35-3. There's no way Frank Reich's going to engineer a miracle. And my dad knew about Frank Reich because we watched the Maryland game where he came back against Miami from 31-0 down. So we're familiar with Frank Reich.
Yep.
And my dad looked me in the eye and said, there's no way Frank Reich's going to come back and get this one. So Buffalo had a good run. It's all right. So we all dissipated. Okay. My sister didn't even care. She was in her room blasting music all over the place. I grabbed a snack. I went upstairs. I said, the heck with it. I'm going to lay down. I saw Kenneth Davis run into the end zone, 35-10. I'm like, man, this game's over.
Right.
I told you, I woke up about an hour and a half later, and I'm going.
I missed that touchdown. Yeah.
And I'm going, why are we in overtime? Mm-hmm. My dad marched upstairs and said, do you believe this? I said, Dad, I just woke up.
Do you believe this?
I said, Dad, I just woke up. I swear, I just woke up. And he said, well, wait till you see NFL prime time, and you see what happened.
Field day with that game. Oh,
listen, Chris Berman had a field day with every game.
Right.
Chris Berman had a field day with every game. Right. AJ, talk to me about your show, my friend.
Well, I got a little thing going on called the lunch break. And now that I'm retired, I had to give up an hour, man. I can't go 2 hours anymore, just straight sports talk. So I do it every Monday through Friday from 12 to 1 Central Standard Time. And it's something that literally started because my program director asked me if I could show her what it looked like to have some sports content. And they were going to get somebody else to do it because I was, at the time, sports director for 8 or 9 different stations.
Right.
So, man, here we are 5, 6, 7 years later, and it's still going strong, and I'm glad to have it.
Oh man, I'm happy because I watched it and I'm hooked. I'm just sitting. I watched it on my tablet. Okay, I was getting ready to take a nap, and then I saw your notification pop up because I'm completely subscribed. I'm hooked, and I'm going, oh, here we go, right here. I sat and watched it, and it's like, oh boy, this is cool. So I'm a complete fan, and I'm a complete fan. I'm a subscriber. Cole had to depart for a meeting, but I have AJ Jones here with me from the lunch break, and just off of an idea.
Yeah, really. I mean, I was literally just kind of trying to see what some content in that 2-hour segment looked like, and they were going to go shop the space. And I didn't have a phone caller for about 2 months, but I'm one of those guys who can play well by myself. I can make believe and what have you. So I just talked nonstop for a good hour and 30 minutes with a few commercials thrown in there. And
Right.
the next thing you know, we started getting some ratings behind it. So,
and that is wonderful. That is wonderful. It's like me when I started Snowman in the morning. I didn't know how long I'd be able to go because this originally started for an hour.
gotcha.
1 hour, I'm done, I'm going back to bed. Yeah, then people started liking it and said, can you go even further? I said, I'll work on it.
Yeah.
Then 1 hour became 2 hours. It's been consistently 2 hours. And then all of a sudden now I'm doing more video chats than I have done in the 8 years I've had this show. And I have Cole to thank for convincing me to use the tools that I have with StreamYard to bring everybody in. And it's like, now this is going to really take off. Does it frighten me in a way? Yeah, but do I want it? Yep, because I put it together. My wife encouraged me this morning on her way out the door and said, go get them.
Yeah. See, that's the kind of stuff that, you can't anticipate. Once it happens, you're just blown away by it. And I applaud you, man. 8 years and expanding to, more than 2 hours. That's significant. That is significant.
Yeah.
Don't ever sell yourself short on that, man, because content is key. Content is key. And there are a lot of people that put out content.
And given it's the 21st century, video content is even an even bigger key.
Absolutely.
Video content is bigger.
You put out good content like you do, because Snowman, I was checking you out. I was like, oh yeah, this is what I'm talking about.
I can say this proudly. Nobody brings it like we do each morning.
Yeah.
That's why I want that, and that's why I want to do this. And that's why when I got Cole involved as my co-host, I said, oh yeah, I picked a winner. I absolutely picked a winner. Sam said, you can entertain me all day, buddy. with some of the stories that I share. I'm going to share a broadcast story, then we're going to get out of here. I was looking at some pictures yesterday of a departed friend, Mark Farina, who was my baseball color commentator for 5 years. We did a game in suburban Chicago, and it was moved a day up because of some threatening weather that was coming in on the scheduled day. So they moved it a day up. It got dark early, and the game took 10 innings. And by the time everything was done, everybody wanted to get out. So I'm packing my equipment, and they shut all the lights off.
Oh, wow.
I'm saying, oh, no. So Mark helped me get everything packed. We're trying to find our way out of the stadium. The elevator was dark as hell. I'm going, how are we going to get out of here?
Wow.
Listen, anybody who's been in a dark elevator knows what I've been through. You can't see anything, you can't feel anything except when the elevator comes to a stop. And you hope it's on your floor because you want to peel out of there in a hurry. All right? So we peeled out, and we're trying to find our way out. There's no ambient light around until you get to the front of the park. And when you know it, there was a couch in the way, and neither one of us saw it.
Oh, God.
So we both nearly went splat on that couch.
Oh, God.
And then we survived the couch, and the next thing we find is a table. And we're going, how are we going to get out of here? Mark made the best comment when he said, it's the blind leading the blind, except you don't have any glasses.
Man.
I laughed all the way out the park. We finally got to the front of the park, and we saw the light, found a car, and split.
What else can you do after that? What else can you do?
Not a thing. He said normally we'll stop somewhere to eat, but considering the fact that it's dark, I'll get you something through a drive-through, and we're going home. I said no problem, because he was already on the south side.
Deny.
Yes. Did you pick your NCAA champion? Because I did my picks live this morning, and my pick was Arizona.
You picked Arizona. That's really a good pick. Because I tell you what, I don't know when it happened, when the power shifted out west, but you can't go wrong with Gonzaga. You can't go wrong with Arizona. You can't go wrong with even Baylor. Is a team that I'm kind of keeping my eye on again. It's that fourth team that I'm not quite sure about. I don't know where to go with that fourth team.
And the thing is, I have Baylor getting upset by Virginia Tech. And the reason I made that pick, it was purely from heart. But it's like, okay, Baylor's the defending champion, but Virginia Tech beat up North Carolina and they beat up Duke.
I'm nodding.
Right there, it's like
I can see your why, but this is Baylor's time of the year, man. Baylor lives for this time of the year.
And I warned everyone when it came to that selection in my bracket. When it came to that selection, I warned everyone I am doing this against my own judgment. I'm doing this on heart and not on principle, and that's why I went with Virginia Tech in that game. Yeah. But I wouldn't be surprised if Baylor gets. I wouldn't be surprised if Baylor gets to New Orleans for the Final Four.
I wouldn't either. And a lot of people here are doing that with the University of Houston. They want to see U of H in the Final Four again, but even Coach Sampson will tell you this is not a Final Four team. If they were fully, stocked and healthy, sure, but they've got two of their best players that are out and have been out all year, and to get where they are has been just hard work and good fundamentals. But there are folks that just refuse to not believe that U of H is going to get back to the Final Four. I'm not one of those. There's a fourth team. I just don't know who it is just yet. I got to have it by tomorrow.
Yep. And one number one seed I will not trust is Kansas.
There you go.
Their inconsistency kills me. And it seems like, and Cole and I talked about this earlier, it seemed like the committee said we have to have a fourth number one seed. Let's just give it to Kansas just because they're the Big 12 champs. And I'm looking and going, Texas took them to overtime in their own house. How can you appoint them a number one seed?
Well, the interesting thing is the committee looks at the Big 12 like they look at the SEC in football, and I don't know if I agree with that just yet. I don't. And Kansas is definitely not that team. The fact that you've got two number one seeds from the same conference is kind of interesting to me. I felt like Kansas got a lot of love that they might not have deserved.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, Kansas is the Big 12 champion, sure. But did they really perform all year long, especially in the tournament, like they deserved the number one seed? My answer is no. No. They
were up and down like a lot of teams in the Big 12. They won games that were impressive. They lost games that you're scratching your head. So, like I said, out of my three teams, Kansas is not that fourth team. Again, I might be wrong, but I doubt.
Right. I don't trust Kansas. In fact, the two consistent number ones for me are the two that I have meaning in the national championships. That's Gonzaga and that's Arizona.
Yeah. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on Kentucky and Auburn? Where'd you go on those two?
I don't have Auburn getting to the Sweet 16.
Wow.
Again, inconsistency. Look at them second half of the year.
Yeah.
Inconsistency will kill you. All right? Just ask Russell Westbrook, but I'm not going to say anything further.
Yeah. Ouch. Anybody out of the Big Ten? Anybody out of the Big Ten
the closest
or interest to you?
Michigan State and Illinois could make a deep run into the tournament. Illinois is strong up front with Kofi Cockburn, and they could ride those shoulders all the way to New Orleans. The problem that I have with Illinois and Michigan State, they could see each other, which would frighten the daylights out of me. But I have both of those teams falling in the Sweet 16.
Okay. Some teams I'm kind of concerned about. USC is another team that could get hot at the right time. UCLA is another team that could get hot at the right time. I don't even want to say this team's name because of what went on earlier this year, but Wisconsin has one of those players that could go on on a grown man run. So
But I just trust Gonzaga and Arizona to give me a great national championship game. That's my national championship game, and the team I have winning it all is Arizona. Arizona's been one of the two most consistent teams, even though they both fell 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
I can't distrust them. And plus, you're talking about two of the 5 highest scoring teams in the nation.
Yep.
They will backdoor you to death. And that's the reason I picked Virginia Tech over Baylor. If you watch them against North Carolina and watch them against Duke, it wasn't the 3-point shooting that got Virginia Tech those 2 wins. They sliced them to pieces on the inside.
True. That's true. Yeah. Yeah. Virginia Tech is definitely a team to watch. I got to tell you, man, when you look at Gonzaga this year, this might finally be their year. If they don't run into an athletically,
not if they see Arizona. If they see Baylor, I believe they will chop them down. If they see Baylor, I believe they will chop them down. The only team I have Gonzaga losing to is Arizona.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. It logically will be one of those 2 teams. Logically,
it will. I believe it'll be either Gonzaga or Arizona that claims the national championship. Like I said, I did my men's bracket this morning. I'm going to do my women's bracket tomorrow, but I can't fault. People can't fault me for picking Arizona to win it all because Arizona had a lot of problems coming into this season. New coach, new regime, and yet they boat raced everybody in the Pac-12.
Yep. Yeah, they low-key had a great recruiting class.
Yep.
They had guys coming back, and they had people coming back healthy that folk kind of forgot about last season.
Yep.
So I expected this from Arizona. I really did.
And you think the last 2 years with the NCAA were weird seasons anyway. 2020 tournament was shut down.
Yep.
2021, everybody convened in Indianapolis, and somehow they pulled that off, and I'm happy they did. But now you have fans in the stands. You have teams traveling to first round and regional sites. The first 4 is ready to go in Dayton, Ohio. Everyone's not in one place. Now you have the big arenas, Philadelphia, the Wells Fargo Center, Chase Center, San Francisco, United Center, Chicago. And God, I wish I could be there for that. And you have AT&T Center in San Antonio. Fans in the stands now cheering on their team.
Yep.
All those joints are going to be loud, very loud.
Yeah. What's interesting, I was with the Texas Southern University the other night. They had a nice little get-together on their way back from Birmingham. And the young men said that themselves. They're not worried about being in a bubble. They're not worried about playing without their fans there. They feel like that energy is like another player that gives them a boost. So I'm excited for the young men. I'm excited for the young ladies. On the ladies' side, it's all South Carolina for me. It's all Dawn Staley for me. I hope she pulls it off.
I would say that were it not for Dreonna Edwards from Kentucky. Who fired, and I did this interview last week, who fired the shot heard round the SEC.
Yep.
I would be all about South Carolina were it not for 2 players, Dreonna Edwards from Kentucky and Paige Bueckers from Connecticut, who is back. And that should frighten a lot of teams. Paige Bueckers is back. And the scary thing is Paige Bueckers in Connecticut could see either Kentucky or South Carolina.
Yeah.
I want Dawn Staley to win it all, but Gino Auriemma is back in the tournament.
I was just going to say there's one name that I don't say along with Jeff Fisher. It's Gino Auriemma. So
Gino Auriemma.
On that note, I'm hanging up on you. I'm getting off your phone.
AJ Jones, the man in charge of the lunch break, joining me here this morning. A pleasure, my brother. I hope to have you back.
Snowman, I got to get you down on the show as well, and I'm back anytime you want or need me, man. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
It. Thank you. Thank you so much, my friend. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
All right, time for the final point, and it's pretty simple. Man, do what you do. Okay? Do what you do, have fun, and just go with your gut feeling. Because as I have demonstrated many times over, if you don't, you're going to regret it. And since I've met my wife, Jody, she's taught me one thing: no regrets, no more regrets. And I cannot and will not stand to live with regrets, ever. I can't do it, and I won't do it. That's why I love doing this show. I love the peace that it brings me. I am going to extend the time. Just have to make sure everything is together with me physically while I get everything else together. Well, that's going to do it. That's my final point. Do what you do, have fun, and enjoy yourself. You only got one life to live. Live it out loud. Tomorrow, as I reach into my pile of notebooks here, and I got through a show and I didn't swear that much. Tomorrow, Clark Monroe during hour 1, Scoop Miller and Andrew Gottslick during hour 2, and Patrick Voss during hour 3 to talk Major League Baseball. And we got some final comments coming in. No Regrets by Case featuring Charlie Wilson is a great song. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You know, one of my favorite songs that I listen to and I still listen to today is The Devil Went Down to Georgia by the Charlie Daniels Band. I just fell in love with it when I saw it performed live. I fell in love with that song. Let me get out of here. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, then they are not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. Please dream big. Okay? And remember, you can support the show by going to Patreon. Go to patreon.com/SIT morning. That's patreon.com/SIT morning. And I really have to get the heck out of here. I'm trying to find the right screen where I can close everything. And I think I just found it. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a great day, y'all. I'm out of here.